Okay, everybody. Hopefully we're going to finish part 3 today of Brown Girl Dreaming. Yesterday we read about how smart her sister is, and some of you answered those questions about why she didn't, her thoughts were that her sister was gifted, her sister was brilliant. She didn't see that she was smart too, just in a different way, because we all have our strengths. And Jacqueline's strength was creativity. She had quite a wild imagination, and so her uncle wanted her to continue lying. He didn't mean lying like when you get in trouble and you tell a fib to your parents, which is never a good thing because they always find out, and then you get in more trouble because you lied. That's not the kind of lying he meant. He meant using her imagination to keep creating those stories, that she was creating great stories. That's what he meant by that, okay? All right. And they miss their grandma and they want to go home. They have 2 homes, and so they really want to go home. The paint eater. In the night in the corner of the bedroom the 4 of us share comes a picking of plaster paint gone come morning. My youngest brother Roman can't explain why paint melting on his tongue feels good. Still, he eats the paint and the plaster until a white hole grows where pale green paint used to be. And too late we catch him, his fingers in his mouth, his lips covered with dust. That's probably not good for him, huh? Eating paint. Chemistry. When Hope speaks, it's always about comic books and superheroes until my mother tells him he has to talk about something else. And then it's science. He wants to know everything about rockets and medicine and the galaxy. He wants to know where the sky ends and what does it feel like when gravity's gone, and what is the food men eat on the moon. His questions come so fast and so often that we forget how quiet he once was until my mother buys him a chemistry set. And then for hours after school each day, he makes potions, mixing chemicals that stink up the house, causing sparks to fly from shaved bits of iron, puffs of smoke to pop from strange colored liquids. We are fascinated by him, goggled and bent over the stove, a clamp test tube protruding from his gloved hand. On the days when our mother says she doesn't want him smelling up the house with his potions, he takes his trains apart, studies each tiny piece, then slowly puts them together again. We don't know what he is looking for as he searches the insides of things, studies the way things change. Each whispered "wow" from him makes me think that he with his searching, and Dale with her reading, and even Roman with his trying to eat to the other side of our walls, is looking for something past Brooklyn, something out there. Baby in the house. And then one day Roman won't get up, sun coming in bright through the bedroom window, the rest of us dressed and ready to go outside. No laughter, just tears when we hold him, more crying when we put him down. Won't eat, and even my mother can't help him. When she takes him to the hospital, she comes back alone. And for many days after that, there is no baby in our house, and I am finally the baby girl again, wishing I wasn't. Wishing there wasn't so much quiet where my brother's laugh used to be. Wishing the true baby in our house was home. Going home again. July comes, and Robert takes us on the night train back to South Carolina. We kiss our baby brother goodbye in his hospital bed, where he reaches out and cries to come with us. His words are weak as water, no more than a whisper with so much air around them. "I'm coming too," he says. But he isn't coming. Not this time. My mother says there is lead in his blood from the paint he finds a way to pick and eat off our bedroom wall every time our backs are turned. Small holes grow like white stars against the green paint, covered again and again by our mother. But still, he finds a way. Each of us hugs him, promises to bring him candy and toys, promises we won't have fun down south without him. Each of us leans in for our mother's kiss on our forehead, her warm lips already a memory that each of us carries home. So now they're talking about home being back in South Carolina. Home again to Hall Street. My grandmother's kitchen is the same, big and yellow and smelling of the pound cake she's made to welcome us back. And now in the late afternoon, she is standing in the sink, tearing collards beneath cool running water while the cows call outside, and the sun sinks low into the red and gold. When Hope lets the screen door slam, she fusses, "Boy, don't you slam my door again." And my brother says, "I'm sorry," just like always. Soon there'll be lemonade on the porch, the swing whining the same early evening song it always sings, my brother and sister with the checker set beside them, me next to my grandfather, falling asleep against his thin shoulder. And it's not even strange that it feels this way. It's always felt like the place we belong to, like home. Mrs. Hughes' house. In Greenville, my grandfather is too sick to work anymore, so my grandmother has a full-time job. Now we spend every day from July until the middle of August at Mrs. Hughes' nursery and day school. Each morning we walk the long dusty road to Mrs. Hughes' house, large white stone with a yard circling and chickens pecking at our feet. Beyond the yard there's collards and corn growing, a scarecrow, black snakes, and whippoorwills. She's a big woman, tall, yellow-skinned, and thick as a wall. I hold tight to my grandmother's hand. Maybe I am crying. My grandmother drops us off, and the other kids circle around us, laughing at our hair, our clothes, the names our parents have given us, our city way of talking, too fast, too many words at once, too many big words coming out of my sister's mouth. I am always the first to cry. A gentle slap on the side of my head, a secret pinch, girls circling around me singing, "Who stole the cookie from the cookie jar?" and pointing as though the song is true at me. My sister's tears are slow to come, but when they do, it isn't sadness. Something different that sends her swinging her fists when the others yank her braids until the satin, newly ironed ribbons belong to them, hidden away in the deep pockets of their dresses, tucked into their sagging stockings, buried inside their silver lunch pails. Hope is silent. His name, they say, belongs to a girl. His ears, they laugh, stick out too far from his head. Our feet are beginning to belong in two different worlds, Greenville and New York. We don't know how to come home and leave home behind us. How to listen, number 4. It's another haiku. Kids are mean, Dell says. Just turn away, pretend we know better than that. Field service. Saturday morning's the hardest day for us now. For 3 hours, we move through the streets of Nicholtown, knocking on strangers' doors, hoping to convert them into sisters and brothers and children of God. This summer, I am allowed to knock on my first door alone. An old woman answers, smiles kindly at me. "What a special child you are," she says. Sky blue ribbons in my hair, my watchtower held tight in my white-gloved hand, the blue linen dress a friend of my grandmother's has made for me stopping just above my knees. "My name is Jacqueline Woodson," I nearly whisper, my throat suddenly dry, voice near gone. "I'm here to bring you some good news today." "Well, how much does your good news cost?" the woman wants to know. "A dime." She shakes her head sadly, closes her door a moment to search beneath the trunk where she hopes she's dropped a coin or two. But when she comes back, there are no coins in her hand. "Oh, I'd love to read that magazine," she says, "but I just don't have any money." And for many days my heart hurts with the sadness that such a nice woman will not be a part of God's new world. It isn't fair, I say to my grandmother when so many days have passed. I want to go back. I want to give her something for free. But we're done now with that strip of Nicholtown. Next Saturday we'll be somewhere else. Another witness will go there, my grandmother promises. By and by, she says, that woman will find her way. Sunday afternoon on the front porch. Across the road, Miss Bell has tied a blue checked sunbonnet beneath her chin, lifts her head from her bed of azaleas, and waves to my grandmother. I am sitting beside her on the front porch swing, Hope and Dell leaning back against the wood beam at the top of the front porch stairs. It is as though we have always been in this position, the front porch swing moving gently back and forth, the sun warm on our faces, the day only halfway over. I see your grands are back for the summer, Miss Bell says. Getting big, too. It is Sunday afternoon. Out back, my grandfather pulls weeds from his garden, digs softly into the rich earth to add new melon seeds, wondering if this time they'll grow. All this he does from a small chair, a cane beside him. He moves as if he were underwater, coughs hard and long into a handkerchief, calls out for Hope when he needs the chair moved and sees me watching and shakes his head. I'm catching you worrying, he says. Too young for that, so just cut it out now, you hear? his voice so strong and clear today, I can't help smiling. Soon I'll rise from the porch, change out of my Kingdom Hall clothes into a pair of shorts and a cotton blouse, trade my patent leather Mary Janes for bare feet, and join my grandfather in the garden. What took you so long? He'll say. I was about to turn this earth around without you. Soon it'll be near evening, and Daddy and I will walk slow back into the house, where I'll pull the Epsom salt from the shelf, fill the dishpan with warm water, and massage his swelling hands. But for now, I sit listening to the nickel town settle around me. Pray that one day Roman will be well enough to know this moment. Pray that we will always have this, the front porch, my grandfather in the garden, a woman in a blue check sunbonnet moving through azaleas. Pretty children, Miss Bell says, but God don't make them no other kind of way. Home, then home again. Too fast, our summer in Greenville is ending. Already the phone calls from my mother are filled with plans for coming home. We miss our little brother's laughter, the way he runs to us at the end of the school day as if we've been gone forever, the way his small hands curl around ours when we watch TV, holding tight through the scary parts until we tell him Scooby-Doo will save the day, Bugs Bunny will get away, Underdog will arrive before the train hits Sweet Polly purebred. We drag our feet below our swings, our arms wrapped lazily around the metal links, no longer fascinated by the newness of the set, the way we climbed all over the slide, pumped our legs hard toward heaven until the swing set shook with the weight of us lifting it from the ground. Next summer, my grandfather said, I'll cement it down, but in the meantime, you all swing low. Our suitcases sit at the front of our bed, open, slowly filling with freshly washed summer clothes, each blouse, each pair of shorts, each faded cotton dress holding a story that we'll tell again and again all winter long. And that is the end of part 3. So we will start part 4 tomorrow. Would really like to finish this book this week because I have other things planned for us next week. So tune in tomorrow for the other part. You will have an assignment to do on this at the end of all of today's activities, okay?